2 days after the attack, the world was quiet again. Too quiet. Fluffy sat on a hill in Switzerland staring at the stars. Its white fur glowed softly. Rex lay beside it, one paw on Fluffy's tail like a loyal guardian. Below, inside a new underground base, General Marcus stood with Dr. Lin. A massive screen showed an ancient map, part of a signal recovered after the last Hollow attack. It wasn't a map of Earth, it was a map of the universe, and in the center was Earth. Dr. Lin pointed. These symbols match the ones on Fluffy's back. They are coordinates, paths. This whole thing was never random. Earth wasn't just tested. Marcus frowned. Then what was it? She looked at him. Chosen. Marcus stared at the blinking dot on the screen. Why us? Dr. Lin whispered. Because we built Rex. Because we didn't give up. Because we created something strong from nothing. Suddenly, the lights flickered. A new signal was coming through, but this one didn't come from space. It came from Fluffy. The cat looked up, its eyes glowing gold. Then it spoke, not with a voice, but with thoughts sent into every human mind. The Hollow are only one piece. The true war is coming. A force older than origin. A darkness deeper than time. People across Earth froze. From farmers in villages to astronauts in orbit, everyone heard it. I was built to unlock the gate. Rex was built to guard it. Earth is the final lock. Marcus staggered back. Gate? What gate? Dr. Lin answered. A prison. In space, far beyond known galaxies, something began to wake. A shape, a being, older than stars, locked away by the origin millions of years ago, and now the key had been found. Back on Earth, Fluffy stood. Its fur turned gold. Symbols floated around its body like burning runes. Rex stood beside it, eyes glowing red with new energy. The prison will open, Fluffy said, but Earth will not face it alone. Suddenly the sky above Earth shimmered. Ships appeared. Not enemy ships, allies, strange shapes, peaceful vessels from distant worlds, species that once hid in fear of the Hollow, now arriving because of one small signal Earth had sent. Rex, his actions, his sacrifice, his loyalty. It had reached them. A voice echoed again, not Fluffy's this time. It was Origin. You passed the test. You chose strength without cruelty, creation without destruction. Now, you lead. Marcus watched as hundreds of ships entered orbit, hovering, like stars. Rex barked once, loud and proud. Fluffy jumped on his back. They looked to the sky, and the world followed. For the first time in history, Earth wasn't just a planet. It was a leader, a symbol, a battleground for what came next. Dr. Lin smiled, tears in her eyes. We were afraid of a cat, she whispered. Marcus chuckled. Turns out, that cat saved the universe. The stars above shimmered. The darkness stirred. The gate would open, and Earth, small, stubborn, human Earth, would be ready. Because now, the galaxy had a new warlord, and he had a tail. The sky above Earth turned completely black. Birds stopped mid-flight. Clouds froze as if time itself was holding its breath. From every city on the planet, people looked up. There were hundreds, no, thousands of alien ships in the sky. They were massive, blocking the sun. Day became night. The air felt heavy, and fear spread like wildfire. In the Earth Defense Command Center, General Marcus stood silently, staring at the giant screen. He was a tough man, with gray streaks in his hair and battle lines on his face, but even he had never seen something like this. The screen flickered and then cleared. An alien face appeared. Green skin, black armor, burning red eyes. It was Warlord, Grathar of the Crothar Empire. His voice was deep and cold, like thunder inside a cave. People of Earth, he said, behold our ultimate weapon. Surrender now, or be destroyed. Soldiers in the room tensed. Advisors leaned in closer. Everyone waited. What would this weapon be? A megabomb, a living monster, a machine that could melt cities. Everyone's eyes locked on the screen, hearts pounding. Then, from one of the alien ships, a small object dropped. The camera zoomed in. It wasn't a bomb. It wasn't a machine. It was a cat, a small, fluffy white cat. The room fell silent. General Marcus blinked. What? The cat landed gently in the middle of Times Square, New York. People stepped back, confused. A few even laughed. A child shouted, "It's so cute!" Someone tried to take a picture, but the cat didn't move. It just sat there, its fur smooth and clean, its tail curled around its tiny paws, and then it opened its eyes, bright golden eyes that seemed to glow. Back at the command center, screens began flickering. Systems shut down. Phones went dead. Satellites lost contact. Drones crashed from the sky. "What's happening?" shouted one of the engineers. General Marcus stepped forward. "Is this cat doing this?" No one answered. But the cat continued to sit calmly, eyes glowing, watching. "Everything. In space," Warlord Grathar laughed. "You mock what you don't understand. That creature is the end of your world." On Earth, panic began to spread. All over the globe, machines stopped working. Airports shut down. Banks closed. Hospitals lost power. Cars froze on highways. Anything electronic just died. All while the cat did nothing but sit. Scientists rushed to study it. Drones flew in, but they failed midair and crashed before getting close. One brave soldier tried to approach it on foot. The moment he reached, out of hand, he froze in place. His body stuck mid-step, eyes wide with shock. Medical teams pulled him back. He was alive, but his brain refused to respond. "This isn't normal," said Dr. Lin, head of Earth's quantum research lab. "This cat is something else. It's not alive in the usual way. I think it's made of quantum code." "You're telling me that's a computer?" Marcus asked, staring at the cat on the screen. "Not just a computer," she replied. "A living quantum core. It can control technology with its presence." Meanwhile, videos of the cat flooded the internet. Before the internet itself failed, people gave it names. Some called it Fluffy. Others called it the end. Some laughed. Others cried. But one thing was clear. This cat was not normal, and yet it looked so ordinary. It cleaned its face with its paw. It stretched. It even yawned. A reporter tried to get close with an old film camera that used no electricity. The cat looked at him. The camera exploded. Warlord Grathar sent another message. "This is your first warning. Let the cat roam, or we unleash Phase 2. General Marcus stood in silence. He had led armies. He had fought wars. But now, Earth was being held hostage by a fluffy animal that didn't even speak. He looked around at his officers. None of them had answers. Some of them looked scared. One was crying silently. "How do we fight something that doesn't attack?" Marcus asked aloud. No one replied. The cat licked its paw again. All over the world, leaders argued. Some wanted to try nukes. Others wanted to try capturing the cat. But any machine sent near it stopped working, and people who tried to carry it found themselves paralyzed by some invisible force. Dr. Lin called Marcus urgently. "We're detecting signals from the cat," she said. "They're old, ancient. This thing may be from a lost alien civilization." Marcus rubbed his face. "So it's not even made by the Crothar?" "No," she said. "I think they just found it and pointed it at us." Outside, the cat moved for the first time. It stood up and slowly began walking down the street. Wherever it went, lights flickered and died. Cameras shut off. Cars stopped. A plane fell from the sky, crashing into the ocean, and still it never ran. It just walked calmly, with glowing eyes and soft white fur like a ghost no one could touch. The world was falling apart, and the end had whiskers. The white cat kept walking. Down broken streets, past silent cars and flickering lights, the small, fluffy creature moved without fear. Its golden eyes watched everything, cold, calm, knowing. Behind it, machines died. Traffic lights blinked and then went dark. Power lines sparked. In some places, buildings lost gravity for a moment, then returned to normal. No one could explain. Yet people were afraid to get close. Some tried to film the cat using old cameras, but even those stopped working when the cat came near. Others ran away, thinking it was a ghost or demon. But the cat was real. It left paw prints. It meowed softly. Once, just once, but that soft sound made birds fall from the sky. In the Earth Defense Command, General Marcus stood over the control table. Most of their systems were dead. Radios were silent. Drones had crashed. Satellites were down. The planet had never been more blind. Dr. Lin, the quantum scientist, looked pale. She had been running tests all night. "It's not a weapon," she said finally. "Not in the way we think." Marcus turned toward her. "Then what is it?" She took a breath. "It's alive, but also a machine, a quantum organic life form. Something built, not born." "You mean artificial?" Marcus asked. "Yes. Created by someone. Very advanced. Maybe thousands of years ago." "Why does it look like a cat?" Dr. Lin gave a weak smile. "Maybe that's the joke." The screen flashed again. The Crothar warlord, Grathar, appeared. This time, he was smiling. "You see now, humans," he said. "This weapon is perfect. It does not need bombs or missiles. It walks, and your world breaks. We don't surrender." Marcus replied firmly. "You've made a mistake." Grathar laughed. "Then prepare for phase 2. The screen went dark. Marcus slammed his fist on the table. "I'm tired of this cat." Across the world, the cat, now being called Fluffy by civilians, was becoming a strange symbol. Some feared it, others worshipped it. Videos of its arrival had been downloaded before the internet died. People printed pictures. Some even wore shirts with Fluffy's face, calling it the end in fur. But Marcus knew better. This wasn't just a joke. Something serious was happening, something bigger than anyone realized. That evening, Fluffy entered a military base near Nevada. It walked past the gate like it owned the place. No alarms worked. No cameras recorded. Soldiers pointed. Guns but couldn't fire. Their fingers froze. Then the cat sat, right on top of a nuclear missile silo. Inside, the base commander panicked. "Sir, that cat is sitting on top of the Titan X warhead." General Marcus heard the report. He stood still for a moment, thinking. Then came the bad news. "Sir," a technician said, "the missile is gone." "What do you mean, gone?" Marcus asked. "Just gone. Like it was erased. There's no heat signature, no damage, just an empty silo." Dr. Lin stared at the data. "It didn't destroy the missile," she said. Softly, "It unmade it." Marcus shook his head. "That's impossible." "No," she whispered. "Not with quantum reality folding. It rewrote physics in that space. That cat erased the bomb from existence." The room went quiet again. Marcus looked around. "We need answers. Fast." That night, Fluffy slept on top of the empty missile silo, curled up like a normal cat. The stars above blinked. The world held its breath. The next morning, every phone on Earth buzzed once, just once. A text message appeared on screens, even on dead devices. "Do not harm the cat. Let it walk." No one knew where the message came from, but it wasn't from any human system. And the sender's name? Alpha code. Origin. Dr. Lin stared at the message. Origin. That's not Crothar. That's something older. Marcus leaned in. "How much older?" She looked up at him, fear in her eyes. "I think this cat was made by something the Crothar are afraid of, something they don't control." Marcus stepped back, silent. All over Earth, people stayed, indoors. Cities grew quiet. No one touched Fluffy. But deep underground, something else was waking up. And soon humanity would reveal a secret of its own. Something built in silence. Something not fluffy at all. Something called Rex. 3 days had passed since the cat arrived. Fluffy, the name everyone now used, was still walking across Earth like it owned the planet. It had already passed through cities, villages, forests, and military zones. Wherever it went, machines failed. Nothing hurt it. Nothing stopped it. It didn't speak, it didn't eat, and it didn't sleep. Not really. It would rest for a few minutes, then move again. Some people called it a sign from the gods. Others thought it was the devil. Scientists didn't know what to call it, but everyone agreed on one thing. Fluffy was not just a cat. In a hidden underground lab below Iceland, Dr. Lynn sat with her team, watching old alien records. They had decoded a small piece of the message that appeared on every screen. Alpha. Code. Origin. Origin, she said, looking at Marcus. We found it in ancient ruins on Mars, a symbol left by a vanished civilization. That same symbol just appeared in the cat's energy pattern. You're saying the cat is older than the Crothar Empire? Marcus asked. Dr. Lynn nodded. Much older, thousands of years, maybe more. The Crothar didn't create Fluffy. They only found it. Marcus looked serious. So they're using a weapon they don't even understand. Yes, Dr. Lynn said, and that's dangerous. Meanwhile, in Paris, Fluffy sat calmly in front of the Eiffel Tower. Tourists kept their distance. Police tried to block roads, but all equipment failed when the cat came near. An old man tossed it a fish. Fluffy looked at the fish. The fish vanished, not eaten, not burned, just gone. In space, Warlord Grathar watched the Earth feed. His face was tense. He turned to his second-in-command. The cat is going beyond expected behavior. It is acting on its own. Do we pull it back? The alien asked. No, Grathar said. Let it finish its work. Then we strike. Back on Earth. Marcus met with a secret group called the Keepers of Anomaly X. They were old scientists and engineers hidden from the public. They had been working on something for years. Something not approved by world governments. Something alive. They opened a large metal door under a mountain base. Cold air rushed out. Inside was a cage, and in that cage was a dog. But not just any dog. It was huge, almost the size of a car. Muscular, armored, eyes bright and alert. It looked like a mix of a wolf, a bear, and a robot. This, said the head keeper, is Rex. Marcus raised an eyebrow. A dog? Against that thing? The keeper smiled. Not just a dog. Rex is a weapon made to sense and counter quantum life forms. He's made from human tech, and something we found in deep space. We built him in secret, but he's never been tested. Is he dangerous? The keeper shrugged. Only to enemies. But he's simple, loyal, not very smart. Marcus looked at the giant dog. Let's wake him up. Alarms sounded. Lights turned red. The cage opened. Rex stepped out slowly. He looked around, sniffed the air. Then he saw Marcus. Rex wagged his tail. He barked once, loud and deep. The walls shook. Rex, Marcus said softly, we have a mission. The dog tilted his head, listening. There's a cat destroying Earth. We need you to stop it. Rex barked again. He seemed excited. They put a tracking device on Rex, but Dr. Lynn warned them, if he gets too close to Fluffy, the tracker might fail. Marcus nodded. Then we hope Rex finds it on his own. That night, Fluffy entered Berlin. Streetlights died. People hid in their homes. The city felt like a graveyard. Then far away, a sound broke the silence. A bark. Fluffy stopped. Its ears twitched. Another bark. Closer. Suddenly, Rex came running through the empty streets like a bullet. He was fast, powerful, loud. He slid to a stop in front of Fluffy. The cat stared at him. Rex wagged his tail. Fluffy blinked once. Rex barked, so loud windows shattered. The street cracked under his paws. For the first time, Fluffy's glowing eyes flickered. Something had changed. Far away in his ship, Warlord Grathar stood up. No, he whispered. What have they done? On Earth, Fluffy took a step back. And then, the small white cat hissed. Rex growled. The battle had begun. The street was silent. On one side stood Fluffy, the small white cat with glowing eyes, the destroyer of machines. On the other side stood Rex, the giant armored dog with glowing circuits in his fur and a deep growl in his throat. They stared at each other. For the first time since Fluffy arrived, the cat looked unsure. Its ears were flat. Its tail twitched. Rex barked again, loud, sharp, powerful. A nearby car exploded from the force. Fluffy blinked, and in that blink, the ground under Rex glitched, like reality itself was breaking. For a moment, Rex stood inside a strange bubble of light, as if the world around him had paused. But then, he stepped forward, unaffected. Dr. Lin and General Marcus watched everything from a faraway command bunker, using analog screens. The digital ones had already failed. Rex is stable, Dr. Lin whispered. He's not breaking. The cat's power isn't working on him. Why? Marcus asked. Because Rex is built from both human science and alien chaos tech. He's not controlled by code. He's part instinct, part machine. In Berlin, Fluffy hissed again. Louder. The sound was like metal scraping glass. A street lamp nearby turned to dust. The air rippled. Time felt slower. Rex growled and leapt forward. He moved like lightning, crashing into the ground where Fluffy had stood. But the cat was gone. It teleported, reappearing behind Rex. It pounced. For a small cat, it moved fast and hit hard. Rex tumbled forward, rolled, and landed on his feet. He barked again, releasing a shockwave. The ground cracked. Glass shattered for blocks. Fluffy flew backward but landed on all four paws. They clashed again. Fluffy's paws glowed with strange symbols, scratching at Rex's armor. Sparks flew, but Rex's metal skin healed quickly. He bit the ground and ripped up a chunk of pavement, then threw it like a missile. Boom! Dust and smoke filled the street. People hiding in buildings watched through cracks in the walls. Phones didn't work, but hearts did. The world was witnessing something never seen before, a battle between two alien creations, one soft, one wild, and yet both unstoppable. Inside the smoke, Fluffy appeared again. This time it was changing. Its body shimmered, its fur floated like smoke, its eyes turned blue. The cat wasn't just a weapon, it was a machine that could evolve. Dr. Lin gasped. It's entering phase 2. We have to stop it now. Rex's body started to glow. His paws dug into the ground. He was charging up, his circuits burning brighter. Then came the next attack. Fluffy jumped into the air, spinning, glowing with a strange purple energy. It came down like a star falling. Rex met it mid-air. The explosion was huge. A bright white light lit up the whole city. For a moment it was day again. The shockwave destroyed windows all over Berlin. Buildings shook. Alarms screamed. When the light faded, both of them lay still. Fluffy was on its side. Rex was on his belly. Neither moved. Dr. Lin whispered, Did they both lose? But then, Rex twitched. His paw moved. Slowly he stood. Fluffy raised its head. Its eyes dimmed. It tried to stand, but its legs shook. Rex growled, low and deep. Then, he did something no one expected. He walked over to Fluffy and lay down beside it. The cat stared at him. Then, it blinked slowly and purred. Across the world, systems slowly began coming back. One by one, satellites blinked online. Radios crackled. Lights returned. Fluffy wasn't attacking anymore, and Rex had stopped the destruction without killing. In the alien ship above Earth, Warlord Grather was silent. Shall we attack now? His officer asked. Grather shook his head. No, we lost. He looked at the screen where Rex and Fluffy now lay side by side. Retreat. Back on Earth, Marcus looked at Dr. Lin. Do you think the cat will stay peaceful now? She nodded slowly. I think Rex taught it something. Loyalty. Connection. Maybe even friendship. But deep inside Fluffy's glowing eyes, something still moved. A code, a signal, and far beyond the edge of the galaxy, something else received it. Something even older. Something watching. Deep space. dark, cold, silent. A signal moved through the void like a ghost. It had no sound, no color, no light. It couldn't be seen, but it was felt by something ancient, sleeping beyond galaxies. The signal came from Earth, from the cat. The moment Fluffy sent it, something far away began to wake up. Back on Earth, everything seemed calm. Fluffy and Rex lay beside each other on the quiet street in Berlin. Rex yawned. Fluffy was watching the sky. Around them, people were afraid to get close, but no more machines were dying. The destruction had stopped. General Marcus arrived by helicopter, one of the few still working. He stepped out slowly, eyes on the two creatures. "They're just lying there," he said. Like nothing happened. Dr. Lin nodded beside him. "They're communicating in a way we don't understand. Maybe they're not enemies anymore." Marcus looked at Rex. "He saved us." Then he looked at Fluffy. "But what happens now?" Back in the command center, an alarm suddenly beeped. One of the satellites had picked up a signal. A fast-moving object coming from deep space. Farther than anything Earth had ever scanned. It was traveling at impossible speed. No fuel, no engine. Just moving. Dr. Lin checked the readings. Her face went pale. "This is not Crothar." Marcus stared at the data. "Then who is it?" She took a deep breath. "It's Origin." That word again. Origin. The same word that appeared in the message sent by the cat. The same name found in ancient ruins. The same symbol in Fluffy's code. "What is Origin?" Marcus asked. Dr. Lin replied quietly. "A civilization so old it left traces on planets before life even began on Earth. No one knows if they're alive, or something else. But they built things. Powerful things." She turned to him. "I think Fluffy is one of those things. A machine built by the Origin. The Crothar only found it. They never controlled it. And now," she said, pointing at the screen, "Origin is coming to check." On the streets of Berlin, Fluffy suddenly stood up. Its eyes turned white. It looked at the sky again. Rex stood beside it, growling softly. The wind picked up. Clouds turned black. Lightning flashed in the sky, not natural lightning, but strange. Golden strikes that didn't make thunder. In orbit, a massive object appeared. Not a ship, not a weapon, just a shape. It was too big to measure. It blocked the stars. No engines, no metal. It looked like a floating temple made of glass and fire. It moved like a dream, slow and silent. Every satellite died the moment it appeared. People across Earth felt pressure in their minds. Not pain, just weight. Like a giant eye was looking down at the whole planet. Inside that floating structure, something began to speak. Not with words, with thoughts. Dr. Lin dropped to her knees. So did others. A voice echoed inside their minds. "Test complete. Reaction. Observed. Result. Acceptable." Marcus stared at the sky. "What test? What are you?" The voice replied, "You call us Origin. We are the first makers. This unit, designation Fluffy, was deployed to measure human response to unknown power." Dr. Lin whispered, They sent the cat as a test?" The voice continued, "Your kind showed resistance, loyalty, creativity. You built your own answer. Unit Rex was unexpected." Fluffy sat down. It blinked slowly, calm again. Conclusion: humans are not yet ready, but not unworthy. Marcus shouted at the sky, "Are you going to destroy us?" The voice answered, "No. You are still growing. Others will come. Stronger than Crothar. More dangerous. Be ready." Then the voice faded. The giant shape in orbit turned. It vanished without a sound. Gone. The clouds cleared. Fluffy looked. At Rex wagged his tail. Dr. Lin stood up, shaken. "They were never going to kill us," she said. "They wanted to see how we'd fight back, if we would give up, if we could create something of our own." "And we did," Marcus said, watching Rex. "We created loyalty. We created heart." Suddenly, Fluffy meowed. It looked at Rex, then at Marcus. Dr. Lin smiled. "I think it wants to stay." Rex barked once, happy. And just like that, the galaxy's most dangerous weapon became Earth's strangest pet. But deep in space, other signals were moving. War was still coming. And next time, the test wouldn't be just a cat. 3 weeks passed. Earth was healing. Cities rebuilt power. Grids. Satellites were repaired. People returned to their lives, but nothing felt normal anymore. Because now, the world had 2 living weapons on its side. Fluffy, the alien cat who once shut down the planet, and Rex, the human-engineered dog, who made it stop. They were strange, quiet, powerful. They didn't speak. They didn't need to. They just watched, protected, waited. General Marcus had them moved to a secure mountain base in Switzerland. It was peaceful there. No machines, no war. Just trees, snow, and silence. But peace didn't last. In deep space, something was hunting. It didn't arrive with noise. It didn't send warnings. It just appeared. A ship, not like the Crothar's war fleets, not like Origin's temple. This one looked like bone and black smoke. It hovered above Earth's moon, pulsing like a heartbeat. Inside it, shadows moved. No eyes, no mouths, only whispers. They were called the Hollow, an old enemy of the Origin. Wiped out long ago, or so everyone thought. But now, they were back, and they had seen Earth's signal. They had seen Fluffy. They wanted it. On Earth, all major systems suddenly shut down again. But this time, it wasn't Fluffy. It was something. Worse, cameras melted. Drones fell from the sky. People heard whispers in their ears. Some fainted. Some screamed. A single word echoed in every mind. Return. In Switzerland, Fluffy stood up. Its eyes glowed black now. Not white, not blue. Black. Dr. Lin saw it first. She rushed to Marcus. Something is wrong. The cat is changing. Rex stood in front of Fluffy, growling. But Fluffy didn't attack. It looked confused, lost, like something inside it was pulling its mind apart. Is it the Hollow? Marcus asked. Dr. Lin nodded. Yes, they're calling to it. They knew the Origin made this creature, and now they want to use it. Can we stop them? Marcus said. She shook her head. Not if they take control first. Suddenly, the sky over Switzerland tore open. A black hole appeared. Small, spinning fast, sucking in the air around it, from it. They came, dark shapes with long arms, no faces, just armor and smoke. They didn't fly. They floated, silent, cold. Rex leapt into action. He crashed into the first hollow creature like a missile, breaking its form into ash. Then he barked, sending shockwaves through the valley. But the hollow didn't stop. One of them reached toward Fluffy, and Fluffy didn't move. It just sat there staring, like it was being controlled. No! Marcus shouted. He picked up a nearby signal jammer and threw it toward the creature. It didn't help. Rex howled, full of pain and fury. Then he did something no one expected. He ran, not to fight, but to push Fluffy off the edge of a cliff. They both fell, down, down into the ice below. The hollow followed, but stopped. Something was changing again. Under the ice, Rex stood first. He nudged Fluffy. The cat opened its eyes. They were still black, but a tear rolled from one of them. Rex barked softly, and Fluffy blinked. Then, light exploded from its body, golden and burning. The black color faded. Its white fur returned. The hollow screamed in a voice that shattered glass across Europe. Fluffy stood again, but it wasn't alone. Its body now had symbols across its back, glowing. Signs of the Origin. It looked at Rex. Rex barked once. Fluffy jumped back up to the surface. It faced the hollow and hissed. This time, lightning shot from its body. The hollow screamed again and vanished, burned away like shadows in sunlight. The hole in the sky closed. The world went still. Marcus dropped to his knees in the snow. They tried to take it, he whispered. They tried to use the cat as a weapon again. Dr. Lin nodded. But Rex saved it. Again. Why are they always after Fluffy? Marcus asked. Dr. Lin looked at the stars. Because Fluffy is more than a weapon. It's a key. Marcus turned. To her, A key to what? She answered. To unlocking the real war. Far above Earth, deep in the remains of a dead galaxy, another signal lit up. The Hollow were not alone, and the origin had not told Earth everything.